What's up, YouTube? SNK Gaming here. Welcome you back to week 5 of the PMC, guys. Today we're today we're doing our team builder for our battle against Jack, the Mienshaos, coach of the Maryland Mienshaos. And I'm going to quickly run through his team real quick. Let me just pull it up, and it'll be on your screen because I'm going to start doing that now. I'm going to start having it up on the screen. But he has Starmie, Hydreigon, Tangrowth, Kyurem, Standard Kyurem, not Kyurem Black, not Kyurem White, just Standard Kyurem, Mega Pinsir, Nidoking, Miltank, Cofagrigus, Sylveon, Terrakion, and Lantern. So definitely a threatening team, guys. I'm actually like terrified of this team. He's got some huge threats on that team, between the Kyurem and the Cofagrigus, and of course Hydreigon always being a threat. Mega Pinsir, one of the best megas in the format, in my opinion. The Lantern with the Volt Absorb or Water Absorb ability, although he'll probably bring Water Absorb this week because of my Suicune. Miltank, of course, being a threat. Nidoking being a threat. So I'm going to run through the 6 mods that we're bringing this week, and just give you kind of a rundown on what I plan on doing, what my game plan is going into the battle against Jack, and just hope for the best. So starting off, we have our Blissey here, holding the Chople Berry to help take some hits from Hydreigon if Hydreigon decides to be physical and runs Superpower, or if he runs Focus Blast. In case Nidoking wants to bring Focus Blast, in case Miltank wants to bring some kind of fighting type move, in case anything, and he can take a hit from Terrakion as well. And then he can get off the Stealth Rock or the Soft Boil, whatever I want to do. It'll just help me eat stuff up and let me keep this Blissey around a little longer than he necessarily would. And this will let me scout out some stuff, because then the Focus Blast won't be a surprise anymore. It won't be like, oh, well, he could have it. And then I switch out just for him to Dark Pulse or Sludge Bomb or whatever, you know. So it'll help me scout out a little bit what he wants to do here. Natural Cure ability, of course, with Heal Bell, Soft Boiled, Stealth Rock, and Seismic Toss. Now, I went back and forth on this moveset for a while. Now, Heal Bell, Soft Boiled, and Stealth Rock were pretty standard. Not standard, well, they are standard, but they pretty much stayed. I didn't really get rid of them after I put them in there, simply because Heal Bell is important this week, because Cofagrigus can Will-O-Wisp our Garchomp. He can Will-O-Wisp our Scizor, and after the battle against Dolphin, I refuse to have my stuff get burned. So Heal Bell will help us prevent that. Cofagrigus can also set up the Toxic Spikes. Starmie can Scald burn us. Tangrowth can Toxic us. Miltank, I believe, Miltank can Thunder Wave or Toxic us or something. And I don't want that. I don't want any statuses. So I have Heal Bell on there for that. I have Soft Boil, of course, for longevity. Stealth Rock because I want to whittle down the Kyurem. I want to whittle down the Tangrowth, the Cofagrigus, the Miltank, the Sylveon, of course. And it does half to Mega Pinsir when he switches in if he's already Mega Evolved. So, you know, it's just, rocks are really good against his team. They really cripple some stuff. They whittle down a lot of things. So that was necessary. The thing that switched a lot was Seismic Toss. I had Ice Beam on there. I considered running Shadow Ball for Starmie, but Psyshock does about 50% to Blissey, and Shadow Ball was only doing about 30%. So I decided to go for Seismic Toss, because Seismic Toss is doing 25% clean to fully defensive Kyurem, so he can't set up subs. He can set them up, but we will immediately pop them, and we can prevent him from setting up subs. So I figured that was best. He can also hit the Hydreigon. Ice Beam was doing about 44% to Hydreigon, which is why I had that on there, because we can eat up Draco Meteors for days. With the Chople Berry, we can eat up Focus Blast or Superpowers, and then we can fire off a big Ice Beam. But Seismic Toss just, Ice Beam wasn't going to pop subs, and I really don't want this Kyurem subbing up on me, because then it becomes a huge threat, and I don't need it to be more of a threat than it already is, just with its stats and its moveset. I don't need it to be behind the substitute. I also don't need Starmie to sub up, and this will do 25% clean to Starmie, and I want to prevent him from setting up subs, and Seismic Toss is the only way to do that with Blissey. So that's the plan for that. Standard EV spread, 248 in HP, 252 in defense, and 8 in special and SpDef with bold nature. Just to help him tank some physical moves along with the SpDef boost. That didn't make any sense. Along with the special moves. Wow, I just cannot talk today. I'm so sorry, guys. Wow, I'm more tired than I thought I was. Next up, we have Mega Scizor. This moveset pretty much stayed the same as soon as I realized that Iron Head does about 80% to Sylveon. Now this is going to be a rough week because Sylveon can punch holes in my team. If he brings Specs Sylveon, it does about 80% to everything on my team except Blissey. And Blissey, I think it does 50 to 60. So, and I can't one-hit it with anything on my team. So that's a big threat. Scizor could get knocked out with one hit, one Hyper Voice. He has a chance to live it. It just depends on if he gets a high roll or if he gets a crit. But HP Fire will one-hit us. So that's a threat. That's an issue. But I have Bullet Punch on there for priority, so I can at least get damage off if, you know, it's low enough, or if I know I'm going down and I don't want to drop anything else. I can get off some damage, knock off to get rid of some items. It also, I think does a clean 60-70% to Starmie, and a good 40 to Cofagrigus if he's fully Fizz Def. Bug Bite hits most, like a lot of stuff on his team. It hits the Starmie, knocks out Hydreigon. Does a lot to Tangrowth. It might even knock out Tangrowth. I'm not sure. It does a lot to Lantern actually. So it's a good coverage move. And then Iron Head again for the Sylveon, the Terrakion, kind of sort of the Kyurem, and just kind of to hit everything. Standard EV spread. I brought this every week pretty much. I actually have 8 EVs in speed, just to help us outspeed some stuff that's in our same speed tier, as long as they're not speed invested, because 122 EVs on Sylveon will have him outspeed me, and if he's not fully physically defensive, we can knock him out with an Iron Head. So I need him to not be fully Fizz Def and not have speed investment, because then we can kill him. So I put those speed EVs in there just in case he only put a few in there. We could still hopefully outspeed him. Adamant Nature, just to have him hit super hard. Next up we have Mew. Last week we brought the physical Mew, which put in a lot of work. I actually watched the weekly recap by J-Specs and D-Pad Gamer, and they said that my physical Earthquaking Mew won me the game, and I agree to an extent, but I also disagree because I did have a Garchomp at the background, and that's a plug at them, not at them. I love those guys, but I do think that physical Mew was definitely a surprise for my opponent, but it's not my win con. Physical Mew is not my win con. And this week I'm bringing Nasty Plot Special Mew because I need something to hit Sylveon if he's fully Fizz Def, because then Scizor cannot take care of him. So I need Mew to come in there and do stuff. So I have him Nasty. I was going to run him Choice Specs, but then I was like, Choice Specs Mew doesn't knock out Sylveon one hit with a Sludge Wave. It's only doing about 80%. And if he's fully Spit F, then he only does like 50 to 60. So I was like, Nasty Plot can actually, like, you know, really put in, like, really punch some holes in his team. So I'm running Nasty Plot Expert Belt just to get off some extra damage while not being locked into stuff. Psyshock just hit pretty much everything. There's no real immunities except for Hydreigon, but everything else gets hit pretty hard by this. It can actually one-hit the Terrakion and the Nidoking, so that's a good plus. Sludge Wave again for the Sylveon and also for the Tangrowth, because it one hits Tangrowth, I do believe, and then Thunderbolt for the Starmie, and kind of sort of the Pinsir, but really just the Starmie, because if that Starmie is Choice Scarf, it outspeeds everything on my team, and that really scares me because Scald or Hydro Pump, actually Scald, Hydro Pump, and Psyshock put in huge work against my team. Scald hits Chandelure and Garchomp and can burn Scizor. Psyshock does a decent amount to Suicune and Blissey. And Hydro Pump, of course, you know, like I was saying about Scald, does so much. So Thunderbolt's in there just for Starmie. Again, kind of sort of the Mega Pinsir, but I'm not really worried about Mega Pinsir that much, as long as he isn't SD. And actually, even if he does SD, we have Garchomp for that, so I'm not really that worried about Mega Pinsir. As long as we don't miss Rock Slide, we should be okay. But yeah, that's what we're doing this week. Full special attack investment, full speed investment with 4 and Spit F, Timid Nature just to have him outspeed some stuff. Chandelure, Choice Specs. This week we're running Infiltrator, because I don't want him to set up subs. His Starmie could set up a sub, but if we have Infiltrator, Energy Ball one hits Starmie, so does Shadow Ball. So that's that. And Tangrowth, Flamethrower does a lot to it. Kyurem, Flamethrower does about 80%. Nidoking could set up a sub, I guess. That'd be kind of weird, but he could. Cough could set up a sub, Shadow Ball, Terrakion, Energy Ball. So just, I don't want things to set up sub. Like Flame Bot, or Flash Fire was nice, but really the only things on his team that are going to be carrying fire type moves more than likely are Sylveon with HP Fire, which we cannot switch in on Sylveon, even if he's, unless he's choice specs and locks himself into HP Fire, we cannot switch into Sylveon, because Hyper Voice really hurts us. Nidoking could pack Flamethrower for the Scizor, but we can't switch it on that because then he just Earth Powers or Shadow Balls and bodies us. Hydreigon could bring Flamethrower, but then he just Earth Power. So Flash Fire just wasn't looking as nice as Infiltrator because he has so many mons that can set up subs that I was just like, we need to be able to get past those subs without necessarily having to pop them, if that makes sense. Choice specs, of course, with Energy Ball, Flamethrower, Hidden Power, Ice, and Shadow Ball, the HP Ice for the Hydreigon and the Tangrowth, in case I get locked into it with the Hydreigon and he switches into the Tangrowth for some stupid reason. Can also hit Mega Pinsir, Flamethrower for the Mega Pinsir, Tangrowth, Kyurem, that's about it. Shadow Ball for the Starmie, and the Cough, and Energy Ball for Starmie, Nidoking, and Terrakion. I was going to run Psychic on this, which I debated for a little bit, but I figured Mew could handle Nidoking with Psychic, and Energy Ball has a chance to knock out. I think it actually does, and HP Ice will let me take on that Hydreigon if we can predict the switch in, like predicting a Shadow Ball or something. Like if he doesn't predict the wave HP Ice, that can be a big plus for us. Next up is Suicune, who's running a little bit different set than what I normally run. Normally it's what I've been running for the most part this league has been Ice Beam, Scald, Rest, and Tailwind because I want speed priority, like I want speed pressure, especially with Mega Scizor. But this week I decided to run Mirror Coat instead. He's still Resto Chesto, obviously, because you know it's the best Suicune to run other than Rest Sleep Talk, which I just don't like Rest Sleep Talk that much. We have Ice Beam for the Hydreigon and the Tangrowth, and Nidoking for whatever reason. Scald for, you know. And then Mirror Coat just because we can live any special move at full health, except for like a Leaf Storm from Tangrowth, but we're obviously not going to do that. But we can live Specs, Hyper Voice from Sylveon, and fire off a Mirror Coat and one-hit it. We can live an Ice Beam from Kyurem, Mirror Coat, and wreck it. We can live a Psyshock from Starmie, Mirror Coat, and wreck it. So I just figured Mirror Coat was a good coverage move that can really catch him off guard and really damage some mons. Fully Fizz Def per usual, and then 8 in Spit F instead of special attack, just because I really want him to tank hits more than deal out damage, especially because Mirror Coat's going to do a lot of damage no matter what. Scald's really not looking too nice for me this week. Hits the Nidoking and the Terrakion, but I have multiple answers for that. So I needed him to take some special hits, more than I needed him to dish out damage this week. And the last mon is our choice Scarf Garchomp. He's kind of what I've been bringing every week, just switching up the move set a little bit. But Scarf Garchomp outspeeds so much stuff. Like unless he is choice Scarf Starmie, Scarf Garchomp outspeeds everything on his team, I think. Scarf Kyurem, but why would he do that? Kyurem is a great physical, defensive, and Spit F wall, so that'd be dumb. Plus, then we could one-hit him with a Dragon Claw. But Dragon Claw again, if he's not fully HP invested, fully specially defensive Kyurem, we one-hit him. We one-hit the Hydreigon. We do a lot of damage to most stuff on his team, except of course the Sylveon. Earthquake does a good like 50 to 60% to most stuff on his team. Some does a little more. Cough Greaves, I think he only does about 30, but that's fine. Iron Head for the Sylveon, and then Rock Slide for the Mega Pinsir. And I think that's it. That's all that I wanted to hit Rock Slide with. He's my like basic check for Mega Pinsir. As long as he doesn't get a Sword Stance up like I was saying earlier, he outspeeds Jolly Pinsir, and Rock Slide one hits because it's 4 times effective, and it's a Garchomp. Adamant Nature, just because he is running the Scarf, so we don't need him to be any faster. 252 in attack and 252 in speed with 4 in Spit Def. And that's going to be the team this week, guys. So this video will go up today, Saturday. as you guys are clearly seeing. And then the battle will go up tomorrow, which is Sunday, against Jack and the Maryland Mienshaos. His channel will be in the description of that video, not this one. And I do want to thank you guys for checking out the video, and encourage you guys to check out the channel if you have not already, because there's a ton of cool stuff over there, tons of Pokemon stuff and everything. If you enjoyed this team builder and you like my team and you really enjoy listening to me talk, which would be weird because I'm not a very good talker, go ahead and smash that like button down below. You know, your support's always appreciated. But I'm gonna get out of here, guys, and I'll see you all next time.